Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, a grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. Join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life. Got some great guests with me. You know, a lot of times people come up against tragedies in their life and they don't know where to turn. And I'm with Nikki and Jared Spear. You guys are awesome.
Well, thanks.
Now, we've got a foundation called what?
Redefined Courage.
What is that?
That is a foundation that gives free post-op shirts to women having any breast surgery.
Wow.
All across the United States.
Really?
Yes.
So how did this start? Why are we interested in that?
Such a personal journey, lots of tragedy, a lot of breast cancer in our family. And just October 2015, I made a promise to my mom, is actually what it was, and told her I would design clothing for her. And I really had no business doing that. But from a little simple drawing on a Post-it note to what we have here today is one of the main reasons why, and just fortitude and strength and a husband who supports me.
That's you. So why give them away? I don't understand that.
I think when you're going through anything that is difficult, a life circumstance that's going to change you, and especially a woman and your body, I don't think the first thing you look at is what can I wear? What is gonna help me? The first thing you do is you're scared. And the money spent is probably going to be on medical bills and maybe having people take care of your kids or meals and things like that. So we wanted to be the people that came in and said, you don't have to worry about this thing that you're going to wear home from the hospital. That's going to help you hold your drains, be comfortable, give you some dignity, some hope, and that's what it's called.
So to me, it looks just like a regular top.
It's not.
So what makes it different?
Inside, there's four drain pockets for the actual drains that will be attached to you when you come out of surgery.
Wow.
And it's up to 1 to 4. Sometimes women have 6 drains, but we decided to do the four drains. Also, when I had a double mastectomy myself because of our family history, and Jared remembers what it was like to care for me,
right,
and have those drains pinned to a bra. And I never wanted to see another woman like my mom or my 2 aunts or my grandmother have to struggle with that situation.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
This is why it's different. So drains would be coming usually from
Sure.
here, and depending on how many you have, but they would fit nicely right in these pockets. And then you would close it up and button it up. Your mobility in your arms is not as it's really hard to move your arms way up high, they tell you.
Exactly.
And you're gonna have to do exercises and all kinds of things before you can even raise them that high. So having the button up is super important, and just a soft cotton shirt to be able to feel comfortable in while you're recovering.
So coming from your standpoint, the spouse, that's a lot to go through.
It is. I mean, the emotional aspect, but also seeing, not only my wife go through it because she went preventatively to have one done, but also watching her mother, her aunt, and also her grandmother has gone through it as well. 2 of them have passed.
Wow.
Actually, all 3 of them have passed. And so, we've had an opportunity to walk through it together so we can understand not only what the woman's going through, but what the caregivers are going through as well.
Right.
So, and the development of this shirt was specifically based on experience that she had, and individuals who have worn this and said, hey, listen, this would really help. So even where the seams are placed, they're away from the incision location, so they've been switched so that your seams are on the top of the shoulder on the outside of the sleeve. And so that's, by experience, we've developed the shirt.
Everything's been thought through.
It has.
Okay.
For the woman that's going to be wearing it specifically.
So now, is it something that somebody can get involved in helping you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I think that, we are so blessed by so many people already, but businesses especially, we love to connect with people where we can together form a partnership helping the business, but also, helping a foundation, giving back really, giving to someone that we don't want to have to pay for a shirt. So yes, definitely businesses, individuals, people that want to give to this particular cause that will help a woman.
How awesome is that? Listen, it's all about finding, and even this, it's all about finding the little niches, those little things where there's a need, and fill that need.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you'd like to get involved with this, join them at this website and find out how you can make a change in somebody's life just like they're doing. Just partner up with them. You don't have to do your own thing. There's plenty of things that you can join up with and get involved with. Thank you so much for being with me. You guys are just so awesome.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, get up with them. Don't change the channel. We got more coming up.
Dr. Tim Weir wants people like you to enjoy life to the fullest, and he has written several books. These down-to-earth, easy-to-read resources will help you love life. For example, You're Not Crazy, An Overcomer's Guide to Fibromyalgia. This book has helped hundreds of people. Or How to Reboot Your Brain When Drugs and Therapy Have Not Worked. This amazing book will help you or a loved one retrain the brain. Wake Up and Dream is a wake-up call so you don't sleep through life. Go to www.drtimweir.com and order your copy today.
When my customer comes in our store, we give them the knowledge of the products that we're selling them, and we give them the service.
As an independent hardware store, we stock our store with products that we trust.
Traeger grills are a leader in the pellet grill industry.
People come from all around to get Traeger wood-fired grills from us.
We're a family business, just like their family coming in to see us. We want them to be part of our family.
B&W Hardware, serving downtown Wake Forest and surrounding areas since 1949.
Hey, welcome to Longboat Key. This is a gorgeous place. I wanted to spend a moment with you talking about something that is so incredible. If you can catch this, it's going to change your life forever. We're all hooked into what I call the spirit network. There's one spirit that runs everything, and it's in all of us. But we let this part of us, this human skin body thing, rules so much of the time. And then we miss out on so much of life. The cool thing is, the same spirit that's in me, that animates me, that, some people call it universal spirit, some people call it, I call it God, it's God. It's that spirit that's in all of us. And the really cool thing about this is, if I make some goals, if I make some decisions in my life, intention, and I put that out into the universe, I want you to realize this, that down the street, across the world, there are other people who have some intentions, some goals that they're making too. This has happened to me several times. I've had an idea. Well, let me tell you what my idea was. I had the idea that at Christmas time, I'd always have to lift up the bottom boughs of the tree, get a pitcher of water and pour into that bottom thing down at the bottom of the Christmas tree. I had the idea, why don't I get like a garden hose or a hose that comes up with a funnel on it that would stick up like almost in the middle of the tree, that I could take my pitcher of water and pour right into that funnel. I thought, oh my God, have I got a money maker here. It wasn't 2 months later I was in the store and there was that hose thing for a Christmas tree. Guess what? That spirit put out the idea, and it's looking for people who will just grab that idea and go for it. That's for that idea. But I want you to understand, if you put out the idea that I want to be, I don't know, a basketball player, if you're a kid, you want to be an NBA star. There are other people across the world, across your state, who are also putting out the intention, I'm looking for this or that. Or if you have an idea for a book or a movie or whatever, there are people out there, might be from that house right over there. I don't know. They're putting out intention. It's really interesting. Last night, I got a call. We had to move our van because we're on an island. We had to move our van from a parking space, but he couldn't really tell us where to park. So we had to get in our boat, and you have to understand, after dark, we can't be out on that water with our pontoon boat that we had rented. So we had a short amount of time. I went over there, no parking place. And I said, I could have gotten all enturbulated and say, ooh, this is really scary. I don't think I'm going to make it back in time with the dark on the water. But instead, I put out, somebody's looking for us to be able to have a place to park. And I drove by a house, and a woman was at her house. And I said, I'm going to just go to her and ask her. I went up to her and I said, listen, we're in kind of a bind. Can you help us out? Her name was Karen. She said, I would love to. And so we were able to park our car, get back in the boat and get back here right on time. And you know why? Because here was a woman who probably in her quiet time said to the Spirit, said to God, use me today. Make me a vessel. Use me in helping somebody else. Why don't you do that in your quiet time? Not only do you put out, I want to do this, but put this out. Make me a vessel. Let me help others today. Find someone to bring to me that I can help, and then be ready to help. You're going to be amazed at all of the opportunities that have been there the whole time. You just haven't been open to it. Make today your day that you're going to share life, you're going to share spirit with someone else. Spend some time on my website. That's drtimweir.com. It's just there's some information on there. It leads you to other places. It talks about my clinic a little bit and all that kind of stuff. We're also on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Go on Facebook, Loving Life with Dr. Weir. Look us up there. Get involved with your life. Get going. Get passionate once again. I'm telling you, life is too short not to be passionate about it. Listen, you got to blow the lid off this thing. You only get one chance. I don't want to die, all nice and beautiful. I want to die all beat up and scraped up. I just want to have a good time doing what I'm doing. And I hope you'll do that too. And until next week, keep loving life. I'll see you next week.
Hi, my name is Anita. I was in an accident with whiplash, medium and lower back pain, and I came to Raleigh Injury Chiropractic, and I believe it was the best thing I ever done. The staff here is wonderful. Dr. Weir is great. I couldn't ask for nothing else better in Raleigh, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to maintain my health.
Hey, I'm Dr. Tim Weir. If you want results like Anita, call our office today, 919-790-1332. Call right now. I know you're always looking for places that you can be involved with and make a difference. And I'm with Michael Berger from
the Tri-Area Ministry Food Pantry.
I knew that. You guys are in Wake Forest.
Yes, we are in downtown Wake Forest on East Holding, just across the street from the post office.
So what's the focus of the ministry?
So we're a food pantry, and we are the type of food pantry that does groceries. So our clients can come to us once a month, and they get about 50 pounds or so of food. And so that's a mix of non-perishables like the canned goods that we have here. They also get fresh vegetables, bread, frozen meat. And this year we've begun doing things like feminine hygiene products and diapers. And so each client comes in. As I mentioned, they're only allowed to come once a month, and they're provided with all of that stuff. We even help them to carry it out to the car.
So I'm having a little trouble with 50 pounds of food.
Right.
What would that be? What would that entail?
Well, so we estimate that it's about 3 or 4 days worth of food.
Okay.
So unfortunately, it's not enough
For a month.
For a month. It's just
Right.
going to be, to supplement what you already have. And so that's about 20 cans, a couple loaves of bread, usually 3 or 4 packages of meat, and whatever kind of fresh vegetables we might have. We've partnered with the local community gardens. There's a couple churches in the area that grow vegetables over the summer, and then they donate most of that to us. One of them even has chickens, so we get some eggs.
How cool is that?
Yeah, so we have a lot of fresh vegetables. Right now we're in the middle of sweet potato season, so
Yeah.
we've got lots and lots of sweet potatoes. And each person goes home with a 10-pound bag of sweet potatoes until we run out.
And those are really good for you, by the way.
They're not only good for you, but they're
good.
delicious.
Yes.
We even had an opportunity to go and pick some.
Oh, cool.
So that was, we sort of saw the whole thing in a cycle from pulling them out of the ground to providing them to our hungry
So
families.
how did you get involved with this?
Well, I was at the post office one day, and you can actually see the food pantry diagonally across the street. And I saw this long line of people, and I thought, I've been down this road a dozen times, many more than that. What is that? What's it all about? So I investigated, and it turns out it's the local food pantry. Now, I live in Wake Forest. You live in Wake Forest. You look around, it doesn't seem like there should be very many hungry people here.
Right.
But yet, there was an enormous need. Frankly, that inspired me. I said, I can give back to the community. I have some time that I can devote. And my volunteerism was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, if you can imagine this, you go to the grocery store, let's say you get 5 extra cans, 5 of these. Mm-hmm. Even that little bit is enough to help somebody.
Absolutely every little bit helps. So we get our food that we hand out in a couple different ways. We are a distribution agency for the food bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah.
And so they have a large corporate presence. And when you go, for example, to the state fair and they have that big can drive, that's them. And we're a distribution agency for them.
Okay.
So we get food from them that we in turn distribute. So they're wholesale, we're retail, basically.
Yeah.
And so we get some percentage of our food from there. But 65, close to 70% of the food that we distribute comes from people in the community. Businesses, churches, and individuals who just come in, just like you said, they picked up an extra few things and they drop them off. So that's how we do it.
What an easy way to make a difference in somebody's life.
It is. And so we don't require, so there's a lot of food pantries that have certain requirements that you need to meet in order to be eligible.
Sure.
And so our requirement is that you have to live in Wake County. There's no other requirement. If you need the help, you just come, you show us that you live in Wake County, and we can provide you with food.
Wow.
And so we don't want to hold up any sort of artificial barriers, and you know, if you're hungry, come see us. And we're seeing right now between 750 and 800 families a month.
Wow.
So it's a sizable number. Interestingly, probably 70% or 65% of those people live in Wake Forest. They have a Wake Forest address.
Wow.
So there certainly is a need in the community, and you know, we're doing our best to meet that need.
Yeah, and you got to be careful that you don't prejudge people and say, well, they don't need it. They probably do.
Well, that's one of the things that struck me. So, because in your mind, you think about the people that stereotypically would go to a food pantry, you expect them to be homeless, you expect them to be down on their luck.
Right.
What I saw in that line was an awful lot of people that looked like my neighbors.
If you want to help, go to the website, check it out. I'm telling you, step out, help those around you. Thank you, Michael, for being with me. You're awesome. Thank you. Don't change the channel. We got more coming up.
Dr. Tim Weir wants people like you to enjoy life to the fullest, and he has written several books. These down-to-earth, easy-to-read resources will help you love life. For example, You're Not Crazy, An Overcomer's Guide to Fibromyalgia. This book has helped hundreds of people. Or How to Reboot Your Brain When Drugs and Therapy Have Not Worked. This amazing book will help you or a loved one retrain the brain. Wake Up and Dream is a wake-up call so you don't sleep through life. Go to www.drtimweir.com and order your copy today.
You know, there are so many people who look at some scriptures and they say, you know, oftentimes people read scriptures wrong. And one of those scriptures is where it talks about God creating the earth out of nothing. And people say, well, God took nothing and created the earth. But that's not what the scripture says. If you read the scripture, what the scripture actually says is that God created the earth out of things that cannot be seen. And so, in other words, God created things out of invisible things. I want you to understand this, that this here is very temporary. This is the old body we get, and some of us are lucky enough to have it for 85, 90, even 100, 120 years. But it goes away, but there's something that doesn't go away, and that's the spirit part of you. And so that spirit part of you is part of that invisible world. So sometimes when you're looking around you and you say, I'd really like for this to happen or that to happen, but I don't see it. Let me tell you something. There's a whole world of the invisible that's around you. There are businesses, there are relationships, there are other things in this invisible world, and you just have to learn how to tap into the invisible world. So spend some time reading and studying people who know that kind of stuff. Bob Proctor, one of the great, he was part of the book The Secret, the movie Secret. Good friend of mine, great guy. I've been to his home, talked to him. He's got some ideas on how to tap into that world of the invisible. There's other people. I mean, man, Grant Cardone, there's a bunch of people. Mark Victor Hansen. If you've read my book, Mastering the Art of Success, you'll have tapped into some of those people. Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, Jack Canfield. Those are all people who have an idea of what it's like to tap into the invisible. So just get tapped in. Listen, there's a whole universe around you. There's a whole world that you haven't even seen yet. Tap into the invisible, bring that stuff from there into your life, and you'll create some amazing things. You'll create an amazing life. Somebody say go!